Hello everyone, welcome back to Linguistics 201. This recording will be the first real lecture. Okay. Let me remind you again that during this semester we are going to follow the same pattern. You are going to watch a YouTube video, and then which is the lecture. And then after the video, you are going to do an in-class exercise right after the recording, the video. Okay. Um, there will be eight sets of lectures. We are going to begin set 1, and also for each set we are going to have a reading quiz. So there will be eight eight reading quizzes. Okay, and so all the readings are already uploaded onto D2L. Okay. Today's topic, the topic of set 1 is overview of linguistics. I have some slideshows to show you, but before that I want to informally talk about linguistics. Okay, what is linguistics? The definition of linguistics is the scientific study of human language. Okay, actually this definition is very interesting because of the phrase scientific study. When you think about other disciplines, for example, like chemistry, physics, mathematics, you are not going to use the phrase scientific study to describe these disciplines because it's kind of redundant. We already know all of them are science. They are all scientific studies already. However, for linguistics, we keep emphasizing that it is a scientific study. I think this is the feature that linguistics is a very young science. It is growing as well. Okay, so actually this is a very good chance for you as well. If you are thinking about being an academic for your future career, linguistics would be a very good choice. Actually, linguistics is very young. It's about 50. It's about 50 years old. If you want to be a linguist, you can have a lot of breakthroughs in the future. I think because it's really young. When you think about mathematics, if you want to do a big progress, it's really hard because it's a science with a long history, right? But for linguistics, this is another case. You don't need to be super smart to be a very good linguistics, right? Okay. Now let's begin with the slideshows. Let's begin with the slideshow. Okay. Okay, the first lecture, set 1.1, what linguistics is and isn't. Okay, this would be part 1. Some of the content of these slideshows are from Diana Ohara's lecture. Okay, I'm grateful for her. Okay. So let's talk about what linguistics is not first. So the following questions are not in the domain of linguistics study. How many languages do you speak? Can you translate this for me? What is the proper usage of some phrase? What is the origin of some word, some phrase? What do you know about language, the language of some species, non-human? For example, do you know the language of dogs? So these questions are not in the domain of linguistics studies. Okay. Then what is linguistics? Okay. There's no single simple correct answer to this question. Okay, there are different answers from different perspectives, from different linguistics camps, but there is one common ground for every linguist. Okay, linguistics would be the study of the links between sound or sign and meaning in naturally occurring human languages. So we are studying the linking between some symbol and the meaning. Here I use sound slash sign because we have verbal language, for example, English, Chinese, Spanish, all the common languages. However, we also have American Sign Language as well. Sign language is a language. Sign languages are human languages as well. There is no significant difference between verbal language and sign language. Actually, we are going to talk about this later. Okay. Okay. So there are different. What is linguistics? We have different answers from different linguistics camps, but we are going to take one of the positions, okay, to do this course. Okay, so for this camp, Katz and Postel, they think that linguistics is a purely formal science. It's like math, and there is no connection to anything, to thought. Okay, so this is the first idea. And for Lakoff and Chomsky, both of them agree that linguistics is very much concerned with mind. So this contrasts with the first camp. This camp does not talk about mind at all. Okay, so Lakoff and Chomsky think that linguistics has a deep linking with human minds, and also it is an empirical science. But these two big heads, disagree severely on many specifics, including what it is to be an empirical science. We are going to talk about empirical science soon. And another camp, Ross, McCauley, and Jekentov, they think that they are also in the empirical science camp, but fall between Lakoff and Chomsky on various specifics depending on the issue. So about what linguistics is, there are different answers from different camps. If you have a chance to look at this book, The Linguistics Words, you will realize that there is a real war. The different camps are debating with each other. Okay. So now let's talk about our position about what linguistics is. Okay. Linguistics is an empirical science. It makes falsifiable claims and predictions. The predictions can be tested against observable facts. Okay. Actually, this empirical science, for example, physics, chemistry, both of them are empirical science. They make prediction of the natural world. Okay, and for our position, linguistics is not that different from chemistry and physics. The only difference, we are going to use the same method, but the only difference is that we are trying to explain the linguistics facts, the human language. Okay. The study of linguistics provides some particular vivid example of how culturally accepted opinion about language may be seriously misguided. And our study will provide how a more careful examination of linguistics data can help us come to a better understanding on human languages. Okay, so actually you are in this camp, Chomsky and generative camp. We think that linguistics is an empirical science with psychological reality. Psychological reality means that language has something to do with human mind. So Chomsky has a famous quote: "Language is a mirror of mind." Okay. Okay, since we said that linguistics makes falsifiable claims, we should talk about more about falsifiable claims. We can begin with not falsifiable claims. There would be two types: empirically not falsifiable and logically not falsifiable. Okay. Empirically not falsifiable claims. I have three examples here. Actually, the three examples show the same point. We can begin the first one. An alien spaceship crashed in Roswell, New Mexico. So, why is this statement not falsifiable? Okay, we can think about the other way. If we want to falsify this claim, what evidence can we use? Actually, this is really hard. For each statement, if the statement happens to be false, all you will find is the absence of evidence. So you cannot use some solid existence of something to prove that the statements are false. So all of them are not falsifiable. So, for example, for a true believer in this statement, he or she can always say that the government just hit all the parts of the spaceship. It means that they can always come up with an alternative explanation. They say it is there, it exists, but you cannot find it. Okay, so the statements like this are very hard to be falsified. Okay, so they are not falsifiable claims. Okay. This is the first type, empirically not falsifiable. The second type, logically not falsifiable. The first type would be a circular argument. P because of P. For example, John is smart because John is smart. This statement is always true and it is not falsifiable. Okay. And the second type would be tautological statement. For example, P or not P. The statement of this type will be not falsifiable as well because it is always true. For example, John stays at Tucson, or John does not stay at Tucson. The statement will be always true. So this will not be falsifiable as well. Okay, this is it. Remember to do the in-class exercise. Thank you and see you next time. Bye bye.